Till they're, like, super concerned.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be concerned. They were concerned about that when I was 200 pounds and not 250 pounds.
Yeah, well, life's a bitch. I mean, don't get me wrong. We, both of us, me especially, should probably exercise more, but yeah, that's pretty much where I am on the topic.
It's like exercise or have content for the podcast.
Yeah, really.
Until I'm coordinated enough. There are, like, star knits in them.
Uh-huh.
They're amazing. They knit socks as they walk on a treadmill.
Yeah.
I would die. Like, legit die.
Well, I got a treadmill desk thing that I would like to put on my treadmill so that I can do, like, the first hour of work just walking at a slow pace. Because anything's better than sitting.
Yeah.
But, I can't get to my treadmill right now because everything's out of my closet because Joel's doing work in the closet because there was mold, and so we had to pull out the sheetrock and replace it. So everything's out of my closet, so I can't even get to my treadmill right now. So, whatever. That's what I'm going to blame it on.
Yeah. I would like to purchase a treadmill at some point, but that is a large expenditure.
I would say Craigslist that sucker.
Yeah, maybe I'll put Michael on that.
People get rid of that stuff all the time.
I mean, there's that, but also, like, I have no way of getting that from Craigslist to my house.
We'd have to get Michael, but we can start if you'd like. Oh, I probably need to pull up the notes, don't I?
That'd probably be handy.
There we go.
I have glitter stuck in my head. Glitter!
It's just a little chapstick.
That was stuck in my head earlier. I was dancing, so that's cardio. I was not dancing like Todrick Hall because I do not have that ability.
Were you doing splits on the treadmill?
No.
Like that other guy?
Lane? I was not. He has a name, Leslie.
I only have seen him twice when you've sent me links. So
I follow him on Instagram. He's a Houston Ballet. I don't even know that that's really his name. But he's Houston Ballet's male primary dancer.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's amazing. He also posted a picture of him falling. Like, all the falls that he accidentally does as he was dancing.
That's awesome.
And it made me super happy. Not that he was falling, but that he was showing that he was not
it's not a one-take thing.
Yeah.
All right, lady.
All right. Hello, and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 441. I'm Laura, also known as Lola.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today's Tuesday, May 28th, 2019.
All day.
And we're actually recording the first half of the week because we won't be here the second half of the week.
That's true. We'll be at Stitches United. So if you're going to be at Stitches United...
And that's in Atlanta this weekend.
It is. We'll be there Thursday taking classes. We'll be in Market Thursday night. And then we'll be going back to Market Friday morning, but we have to leave by...
11-ish.
Yeah, because I've got to get back to pick up Pearl from her kennel that she's being boarded at. And the lady was nice enough to make room for us, but her weekends are booked out for the next 4 months. So I feel like that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Like...
She's like, she can't stay here after Friday at 6.
At 6, I'm full.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all good. So if you do see us wandering around Stitches United, please come and say hey.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, we just can't stay later than that, so...
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is.
Knitting. Would you like to go, or would you like me to go?
I'm leaving at ends. If you don't mind going first, that would be perfect for me.
I'm sort of in the middle of a row, but I feel like I'm pretty much always in the middle of a row in this. So I cast on this week I don't know how to say it. It's got the same letters as Asia, but they're in a different order. A-I-S-A, so like Isa, maybe? Sorry, I'm not certain how that's pronounced. It was part of the recent collection by Quince & Company for their Sparrow line, which is a fingering weight linen.
Oh, cool.
They released 5 patterns in that base, and I really...
You liked the whole collection.
Yeah, I liked the whole collection, but there were 2 or 3 that I really, really wanted to make, and this is one of them. And the other one, I bought some Lindy chain from Knit Picks because it was on sale. I'm going to try that out because I've never used it before, but that's also a linen.
So you're going to sub the Quince & Company for that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Quince & Company a lot, but I prefer to buy it in person instead of online if I can. Their colors tend to have sort of a pastel undertone. Some of them, not all of them.
I would say they're very muted in general.
Yeah, so I prefer to, especially if I'm going to be mixing colors, I prefer to see them in person.
Oh, yeah, you are mixing colors for this, right?
Yeah, one of them had like thin lines of a contrast color, so I'll just wait until I go somewhere that carries the yarn.
Yeah, Hidden River in Philly carries it, or she did.
Don't know when the next time is I'll be there, but anyway, maybe somebody this weekend will carry it, I don't know.
Yeah, there's some certain, there's some things that I'm looking for from like yarn shops like soap.
Yeah.
And some more, Licca needles. I need some 3s, so definitely check out some other people too, besides just the indies.
This is what's left of the first skein. It's in this rust color. This color is discontinued, apparently. I got this early this year from Jimmy Beans, I think.
Pretty.
But this is what it looks like. It is, obviously, it's something that will have something underneath it, because otherwise...
It's a little see-through.
We would have no secrets.
Your secrets are not Alyssa's secrets?
My secrets are not Alyssa's secrets, no. Mary Lambert's Song Secrets is also really good. You should check that out. But, you know, it's a linen, so it's not the softest thing you've ever knit with. It softens up as you wear it, as you use it.
As you wash it.
But this is a chainette construction, so what that means is if you picture, like, a sock tube in a, you know, or a hat knitting around, where...
Would you like a visual demonstration?
If you pull... if the stitches are off the needle and you pull the yarn, it just unravels in a circle, in a spiral. That's what this yarn is. That's how it's constructed. And I've found several spots where it's supposed to be a nice thick sort of chain, but I've found several spots where it's split and gotten loosened. Like, you know, it must have gotten caught, or I don't know. Maybe that was just a weak spot in the fiber. But yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3.
Oh wow! In one skein.
Yeah, in one skein. I'm hoping it's just a one-off and it's just that skein.
Wow.
And because this is garter, I can weave it in more easily and it's hidden more easily. But if it were a stockinette piece, it would be harder to hide.
It would.
So I'm hoping I don't have to hide it. I've never knit with reed before, but I did go and look on the boards at the comments, and I didn't see anybody that had commented about this. Granted, I didn't read every single project. I just looked at the comments on the yarn itself. So it doesn't appear to be a common thing. So I'm just going to go with the assumption it's a bad skein and just move on with my life.
Others to look at and compare to.
Yeah, and I wound the next skein as well.
Oh yeah, because you're almost done with that.
Yeah, and it is cooperative enough that I can wind it on my ball winder, but it does need to be babysat, just to make sure the tension stays. Yeah, it wants to just pop off of the ball winder. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's just a simple garter stitch. So the pattern itself is a pullover, and it's designed so that it has a contrast color on the shoulder, just like a stripe. 2 stripes here and 2 stripes here, but I don't think I'm going to do the contrast color because I can't really think of one that would go well with this that isn't too
black,
gimmicky-ish. Yeah, I don't really like black and orange. That makes me think Halloween. Well, this isn't really orange, it's more of a rust, but still. I think I'm just going to go with a single color because I like this color. But yeah, it's just a pullover with sort of a dolmany sleeve and a V-neck.
White or natural.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with one color. So this is the front, and I keep knocking things off. I have to go until I have 61 garter ridges. So it's right where the bust starts to divide for the V-neck. So I've still got a ways to go.
So you're just working on the front.
Just working on the front right now.
Okay. So it's seamed at the end?
It is, and it's in garter stitch, or I might have converted it to in the round.
You just mattress seam that.
But with garter stitch, I'm knitting every row anyway, so it doesn't bother me. I mean, I don't hate purling to the point where I avoid it like the plague, but I try not to make that a main design factor. So there's that, and then I'm knitting on, I started this last week. I've got almost no progress, but I will show you anyway. This is the Mesa sweater wrap, and it is by Romy, and it's essentially a triangle with some slight shaping for the arms, but they're basically just holes. And I'm knitting this out of Miss Babs 2-ply Yummy. And the first panel, or the first section, is a lace panel, and that's where I'm at. So it's just like...
And you replaced the lace with a different...
Yes, the lace in the pattern is... There's nothing wrong with it. It's a diamond lace. It's just not something that really knocked my socks off. So I went looking for a replacement lace stitch, and I found one in... I think this is the second Barbara Walker stitch dictionary, and this is the shower stitch. And it's really pretty. She describes it as an exquisite old French lace, unsurpassable for its openness and delicacy. But it is patterned every row, so like the wrong side isn't a rest side. And it's not charted because none of her, really early books had any charts in them.
Only the fourth one's charted, I believe. So
I need to make it into a chart because otherwise I'll never memorize the pattern. I find it easier to memorize a visual pattern versus a...
So you going to bring the shibui to Stitches?
Probably.
To work on?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to have a ton of time at Stitches to work on anything because driving, I'll be driving. Yep. And when I'm there, all day Thursday, I'm in a class. So I may get a little bit of time, like if she lectures in the class, but for the most part, it's a sewing class, so it's hands-on and you're doing things.
Yeah.
And then Friday, I'm driving back. So there won't be a ton of time for knitting, which is fine for me. But, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Lots of time for me.
Lots of time for Laura. And that's okay because we had dinner with a lady named Pam who's come to... She's a viewer, and she's come to SSK before. And her and her daughter... And they were taking this huge epic road trip, and they're talking about how the daughter, Becca, was... I feel like it was Becca.
Yeah, it's Becca.
Okay, good. Sorry, I'm not always great with names. But she was talking about how her mom, was sleeping during some of the drive, and I'm like, oh, no.
We don't play that game.
We don't play that game. No, when I'm driving, your job is to entertain me, or if I want quiet, then you can do whatever you want. But for the most part, your job is to come up with conversation topics or funny things for us to listen to or whatever. Laura is well versed in this.
I've already downloaded a bunch of audiobooks.
Sometimes she just wants me to leave her alone so she can play babies. And it depends.
That makes it sound so weird. Play babies.
Oh.
Save babies.
Like play a game on her phone. We call all those games saving babies. Because one of the first ones that she played...
Bubble Mania, I think, or something.
Was like saving babies from bubbles or something.
Yeah.
We get real graphic here. But yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Okay. I have one item on the needles. I need to cast on my homework tonight for my class because I'm taking a knitting class with Laura Lee Beltman. And I have to cast on with some worsted and knitting around for a bit. So that's on my list of things to do. But I'm still knitting on my Rose City rollers. This is the first one. I got some love at the doctor's office today. And when we were out to dinner the other night, I think it was still on like the red last time y'all saw it.
Is this two separate colors?
No.
Oh, so it's got a big section of black in it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they were all even stripes for some reason.
I mean, it's Knit Picks Felici, so who knows?
Oh.
It's a mystery. it could not be that big the next time around. We'll see. So these are going to be Rose City rollers from the toe up. I'm just going to do a Wendy Johnson heel with a gusset. I'm wearing my Rose City rollers that I knit from the top down today. They're super comfy. Out of some other Knit Picks Felici. So I'm just gonna, I think this is gonna be like my summer sock knitting project, is just a whole bunch of Rose City rollers. Because that's about where I want my socks to be in the summertime. In between all of her imaginary points things that she's going to be doing. Yeah. So these are my needles. I knit my socks on size 0s. This is dark side, so it's kind of got a rainbow to it. It's a light yellow, and then like a rust, then the black, then a bright purple, a bright blue, and a bright green. And I'm assuming that's just going to repeat over and over again. I bought this for me, and then I've also bought a set of skeins for Leslie. Oh. I showed you them when they came in, and you told me they could live at my house. Oh, okay. I forgot all about them. So, I bought, when they had their, like, Felici clearance for $2 of all or whatever, I got a whole bunch of different colors. So, I am well prepared. And that is living in my Fat Squirrel Sock Plus Unicorn bag. So, the other thing that I kind of have on the needles, but not really, oop, I'm moving things in the wrong direction, is we got a circular sock machine on Saturday. Yep, it was supposed to come today, but I guess UPS was getting everything out it could, which is wonderful. So we got it early on Saturday. So I crinked a bunch of tubes, and I'll show those to you. The sock machine that we got is the Erlbacher Gearhart Speedster. It's red. I put an Instagram video up. Well, we tried to open it during our fail along, and it did not go well. Or BKN, maybe? I can't remember. One of the videos we did this weekend for Patreon, and yeah, it didn't go so well. So I just crinked a whole bunch of tubes, and then Leslie showed me how to use the weight. So some issues that I was having were resolved because she has used a sock machine before. So this white up here is waist yarn, and then this is Knitty and Color. Though I only know the colorways of the first. Well, I don't know the colorway. I just know that this is Knitty and Color. This was from a friend who's passed away stash that I inherited. And then there's some more waist yarn. And then this is Bat Cave by Amy Florence, Stranded Dye Works. It's very Steelers colors, and I love it. And I also like how it's swirled. We bought the 72 cylinder. Stitch cylinder, so all these are 72 stitches around. And then I have no idea what this is, but it's very dense. Yes. And I dropped a stitch there when I was switching over. But that'll be an easy fix once I pull off. I didn't even know that this was self-striping. So this is probably Deep Stash from 2006 that I had wound into a cake. No idea what this is. Again, Deep Stash from like 2006, 2007-ish. I'm thinking 2006. More Deep Stash from 2006. No idea. I had wound all this stuff into balls. And then this one, I believe, was 3 Irish Girls. Like 99% certain on that. So, what are you going to do with the tubes? I am going to start with the Knitty and Color and take out the waist yarn and knit ribbing. Well, I'm going to divide it in half. So I'm going to snip a stitch and unravel them into 2 halves. So like right at that point. And then I'm going to knit cuffs, toes, and heels using Afterthought heel method. Oh, so you're not even going to unravel any of this for the hem or for the ribbing at the top. You're just going to use a waist yarn. Well, I have more of this yarn. I didn't crank it all. Okay. I left some behind on purpose, because just in case. But also, I have a ton of Miss Babs was having her like little mini skein clearance. It was like seconds, and we picked up a bunch from that sale. I also love, I've been seeing a lot of like variegated socks knit with self-striping heels. I think that's super cool too. I'd like to see a variegate sock with a contrasting variegate heel. That'd be cool. Yeah, so the world is my oyster, and I can do what I want.
So you plan to knit the ribbing in the same color, and then heels and toes in an alternate?
Probably.
Okay.
Actually, I might, it just depends on, I might do the toes, like pull back for the toes. Like this won't be able to pull back because this is the top part. Right. So that I'll just pick up and knit ribbing and then pull back from the toe probably. And this toe I'll be able to pull back for. I should just be able to pull back from the toes and not the rib. I might be able to pull back for one ribbing. But then I'd mess it up. So, because it would be, one would be longer than the other. So
I know that's what Jo does. Jo just
she does a folded hem.
Right.
So she divides hers in half. So I guess she does a folded hem and then cranks till she uses half of the yarn. And then puts in waist yarn. And then does another folded hem.
That's smart.
That's super smart.
And then she pulls back for the toes.
And then she does the heels as well. And I have some sock tubes that Jo crinked for me that I paid her for.
And just to note, the sock machine can do heels. They're wrap and turn heels. And we may work up to that at some point, but it can be really heartbreaking when you start dropping stitches. It's easy to, well, I wouldn't say easy, it's straightforward to fix drop stitches.
Leslie fixed some drop stitches for me the other day.
But when you're doing a wrap and turn and you're doing a curve and you have to constantly change where the weights are on the heel so that you don't drop stitches and then you end up dropping, it's more complicated. For, experienced crankers, it may be no problem whatsoever.
And there's like crankins across the country too. And Bob and Boy's wife does a lot of like cranking. So yeah. So that was 6. I think I did 6. And then I have a 7th on the sock machine now. So I have to catch myself though, because I don't want a crap ton of just cranked tubes either. I need to actually use them.
Well, I feel like you specifically should treat this like your hand spun, in that you use it as you make it.
Oh, that's a good plan.
So that you can learn from anything you want to change.
Yes, that's a good plan. And our sock machine, you can adjust the cylinder too. Like I should have adjusted it for that more sport weight self-striping, but I didn't.
You didn't even know it was sport weight, so
yeah,
I mean,
know.
I don't know what you could have done.
Yeah, and I don't plan on using it for sport weight in the future.
It's not. I mean,
it's super dense.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this will be a fun way to do. Like I get asked for socks for gifts quite a bit from like my coworkers at work. So this this will be a easier way to do that for people I like at work too.
Just don't obligate yourself too much.
No. Well, I'm not telling anyone I have it. I'm gonna pretend, well, except for the thousands of people who watch us. I'm gonna pretend like it doesn't exist and that I'm doing it all by hand, because they're used to seeing me knit by hand everything. So, although a bunch of my coworkers follow me on Instagram, so they probably sell the live.
They probably won't know what it is though.
Yeah. Maybe.
You
Sorry,
tell
y'all.
it spins yarn, and they probably would believe you.
No.
I don't mean that as, oh my gosh, they're dummies. I just mean that for a lot of people...
They don't have that background knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, you could build a motor or something and tell me that it, I don't know, solves equations, when in reality all it does is flip a switch on and off, and I would just believe you. I mean, I don't know. So, anyway.
Awesome. I have finished objects too.
I kind of have finished.
Okay.
They're just little things. But, so, we got a Cricut Maker, and we did an Instagram Live on that as well.
And then you're putting that up for our Patreons too, right?
Yes. It probably won't be until we get back, though, from Stitches. But yes, it will go up. We're going to start getting into the habit of saving all the Instagram Lives that Laura does that are, have interesting content, and then putting them up for all of our
so
Patreon
like 1
people.
out of 40.
So all of our Patreon people of any amount can see. But what I did with the Cricut Maker was...
Oh, look at those.
I got...
Did you have to glue them together?
No. I just sewed them.
Oh.
So they're open at the bottom, but...
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. So I got the Cricut Maker and already had some like scrapbook paper with designs on it.
You want me to hold this
So, yeah, it's huge. So this is one of them.
And it's got bananas on the back.
Bananas on the back. So I just had the maker cut out. This is all one sheet on one side and another sheet on the other side.
So you just did a full sheet?
So that's what this is, yeah. And I got the shape. I just kept looking around until I found a free one because I'm cheap. And it didn't need to be fancy. So
no.
And then I just sewed them together in a chain on my sewing machine. And
there you go.
I've got several other shapes that I'm ready to sew as well. I worked on it a little bit earlier today. But then I started on another project and totally borked up my sewing machine. I have to I have to take off the plate over the bobbin, and something's jammed in there. I just need to get in there and clean it out.
When was the last time you cleaned it?
Maybe 2 or 3 projects ago. I'm usually pretty good about it. But in this
Loose
particular case,
everywhere.
It was, I used the Cricut Maker.
Oh, you cut felt.
To cut felt. And this is another like free little shape that I found online. And I created these little leaves.
Aww. Those are cute.
And sewed them just in a line.
And these are all decorations for SSK?
Order. Yeah. They're just
cool
stuff to...
I should have you do some for me for work.
Yeah. Stuff to use to decorate a SSK. So, as I was sewing... this was the first strand. And as I was working on the second strand, the first little felt leaf... my tension was off and my machine like gobbled it up. Yeah.
It ate it.
It ate it.
It was like Cookie Monster machine.
So, and it's stuck under the faceplate. And I just couldn't find a screwdriver up here. And when I went downstairs to find one, I got distracted and, you know, that's how it goes. But,
yeah.
So I'll have more of these as well. And I've got some like heart shapes and some scallop circle shapes and stuff like that.
Oh.
But it'll all be for SSK decoration, and also Amy Florence is going to do photos, a couple during certain times of the event, and she might need background decorations or something, so we'll do that as well. But cool. That's it. You have finished stuff.
I do. I just finished weaving in the ends of my TV hat. So I just finished the other day the 2 baby projects. So I took 6 things out of my baby bin, and I'm gonna put 4 back in, so that's not too bad. I have this blanket.
Yes.
So I ended up giving my friend a baby dress and 2 hats, and because the blanket wasn't done in time, but now it is done.
And this is Karen Chunky Cakes.
Yep.
In the, like, it's a watermelon-y color. What's it?
Yeah, I have no idea what the colorway is actually called. I don't have the tag with me.
Okay.
And they don't make it anymore.
No, I couldn't.
Because we can't find another cake of the 3rd. Also, when I dried this after I washed it, it blew over on the grass.
Oh no!
So I'm finding little bits of grass. I'll pick those all out before I gift
put them on my floor.
And on your floor.
Yeah.
So it was just cast on 85 stitches, knit and garter till you go through 2 cakes, then bind off. Really, really simple. And it's around 30 by 30. And then I also finished, where did that hat go? Oh, my last 2B. So this is the 2nd largest size of the 2B.
I think that's my favorite one that you've done.
Oh, really?
I dig the different colors.
So this is out of Handspun. It was a Knit Spin Farm Battling set in the Gemstones colorway, I think. It's got little flecks of sari silk, and each of these I had to weave in ends. That's what I was doing when Leslie started.
See, this is what I would like to spin, is something with these little flecks of tweedy sari in it.
Joanna dyed like 4 ounces of that tweed for us. So we have it.
Cool.
If you want to blend at my house. So yeah, this is the 2nd to largest size. This was knit on size 6 needles, and it's around a 1-year-old size, I would say. So it'll make a good gift at some point for like a summer baby that'll be almost a year by the time they can, or spring baby that'll be almost a year by the time they can wear it. So that is it for me for finished objects. So this is my third to be had of the month, and that baby blanket, so that'll replace 4 of the, what did I say, 6 items that I gave away?
Yes.
So, not too terrible. You have some spinning though, my friend.
I do, but so do you.
I do, but I've been talking quite a bit. Oh! I totally forgot. So I threw these in my bag and totally forgot. I brought over the fiber optic hand washing instructions.
Oh, cool.
So this is what she recommends, and it's follow these instructions to make sure your dyes stay bound to your colors, fresh and brilliant. It says 1, hand wash in cool, not cold water, using a wool wash of your choice. Add 1 tablespoon of white vinegar to each gallon of washing solution. 2, rinse in cool water, adding 1 tablespoon of white vinegar to each gallon of rinse water. 3, lay flat to dry. We hand dyed your item with weak acid dyes and tested the rinse water to ensure the dye was completely bound. For hard or alkaline, high pH water, increase the vinegar to 2 tablespoons per gallon in both the wash and the rinse. And if you're sensitive to the smell of vinegar, substitute 1 teaspoon citric acid, fruit fresh, for every tablespoon of vinegar. And I owe her an email now that I'm thinking about it. Because she was going to send these to put in the SSK goodie bags. And we talked about it at Maryland. And I told her I would email her. Which I have not. So I need to get on it. I owe a bunch of people emails, actually. Because I took this... The last week of school was crazy. And then I took this week and off. I said I was taking this weekend off from all TheKnitGirlls and SSK stuff.
And every day we
recorded something. So, but answering the emails, and I have been monitoring the Stash Dash chatter thread for questions, and people have been hot linking me there, which is super, super helpful if you have a question. That is always the best way to get in touch with me. Do you want me to go first with spinning, or?
Sure.
Okay. So I have 2... No. Well, so I spent today plying for most of the day, and 2 things were still wet when I left, so I didn't bring them. One of which was the last of my Cordell sweater fleece spin, so that's done. And then the second thing is Angora bat that I made yesterday. With Angora from Bumblebee Acres, and I mixed that with some general fiber and then some glitter and then spun it up, and I'll show those to you guys next week. But I also plied, this is from thenaturaltwist.com. I got this at Plyaway last year. It is their Camelot series. It is 84% fine wool and 16% camel. It was 2 2-ounce braids. They were $9 each. This is Sir Lancelot. And I got 490 yards of a woolen spun. It's like camel, I guess the camel natural color was a brownish, and so was the wool. So it's this teal that overdyes a brown. It did have a smidge of veg matter in it, but nothing that I couldn't pick out as I spin or as I knit up.
And drop on the floor.
Yep. I'm dropping it actually in my bag, but thank you. But yeah, so that's done. So that was 490 yards of a 2-ply, and that was spun on my rose and then plied on the Hansen. And then the other thing that I've been really spinning on is this. I bought 2 pounds of CVM in this soft gray color. And I'm slowly spinning it up. I'm actually gonna wind this off and put it on weave-in bobbins before I apply it all together, because it is 2 pounds. And it's kind of a boring spin, so I can see my grist not staying the same throughout the whole thing. So I have this giant, basically clear trash bag full of this that I'm slowly spinning on the Ladybug. And this is an Acreworks bobbin. I love how you can see through the ends of their bobbins. So this is around 4 of the 2 pounds. I'll end up with around 8 of these bobbins. So I'm 1/8 of the way through this spin. But this I'm thinking is going to take me all summer. So those are the 2 things that I brought spinning wise, but you finished some stuff too.
I finished
but it also
one
seems
thing.
like you've got
I'm undoing
An
the slip
issue?
knot. No, I finished one thing, which is about my average. It seems.
No, it's really pretty.
So, where did I put it? There it is.
I was gonna say, you were winding it. It probably fell when you were knocking
So I'm
stuff
reusing
down.
the bag from my project bag right now, but this is from Homestead Hobbyist, who we saw at Madrona.
Yeah.
And this is 37% polar, 37% baby alpaca, and 25% silk. It was 37 and a half, 37 and a half. So if you're a math
Luscious.
geek. And it's really dark with these
I like it though. It's very muted.
color
But
undertones.
then it's got those pops of teal.
Yeah.
And a smidge of like pops of orange.
Yeah, I like it. The alpaca occasionally would be sort of
A clump.
clumped,
Yeah.
but for the most part it was pretty well behaved. I don't really have any complaints about it, and I do like the dark sort of overall sort of dark wash to it. It makes me happy. It hasn't been washed actually. It's just I just wound it off. I applied it yesterday and just wound it off before we started recording, so it still needs its bath, but I'm happy with it. I think it came out nicely, so there's that for me.
Cool.
What about, what's next?
Reading? So I am listening to Fire Touch by Patricia Briggs. Sorry, I couldn't see the, like, camera thing was in the way. It is an audiobook. Is actually the one before, the one that I just finished, but there were characters that I had no recollection of them existing. So I decided to go back one more before I got to the new one. So that is what I am listening to right now, reading-wise.
I'm reading The Natural Witch by K.F. Breen. It is the fourth in that Born in Fire series. And I finished Minimum Wage Magic, that's on there. And so I'm re-listening to Nice Dragons Finish Last.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And
That's by Rachel Aaron.
yeah, I think I like the book better than the audiobook. The guy that narrates is not my favorite. And then
Does he do the Minimum Wage Magic one
No,
too?
that's narrated by a girl. And I still haven't started Life After Death, which is the Damien Eccles book. I rewatched the Paradise Lost, the HBO documentaries about them this week, just to sort of remember what happened. But I haven't started the audiobook. I just haven't felt like it.
Yeah. We're gonna listen probably to the Nick Offerman audiobook with his wife.
Megan Mullally.
Yeah.
The greatest love story ever told.
Yes. On our way to Stitches. Because I have that downloaded, and I also have the Terry Pratchett, Neil Gaiman, Good Omens downloaded.
Yeah, that starts, well, the Amazon Prime show starts, I did not leave enough of a tail, I need to go back, starts the 31st, which is this week, it's
Thursday, maybe? Friday?
28,
Friday.
29, 30, 31, yeah, Friday. So, I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
I'm picking back now. So, this weekend, well, this week, we will be at Stitches. We talked about that already.
Yep. And if you see us, come say hi.
Yes, we're happy
Stop
to
us.
chat, take
Yeah.
a picture, or whatever. What else?
Class signups are going on for SSK, and you sent out a roommate questionnaire as well,
Yep.
correct?
That's correct.
So, if you're attending SSK, make sure you check your email and take care of that. And Stash Dash is going on. The video blipped. So,
Yeah.
and gave you guys a behind-the-scenes view of what we discuss before we
Yeah.
record, which is always fun.
In this case, it was skin conditions.
So, sorry about that. We pulled it down, and Leslie's going to try to fix it.
Yeah.
And get it up before we leave, hopefully. But
Yeah.
it might be after. But none of the rules really changed.
No.
So you can go ahead and watch the 2018, I almost said 2008, Stash Dash video. And it will be the same. Oh, you know what else happened this week? Julia Grace turned 10. So if you're a longtime viewer of the podcast, my niece made a guest appearance when she was under 1, I feel like.
On the Dirty Hippies episode.
With my sister. And,
I was not even there for this one.
No, it was filmed in Michigan.
Yeah, on a family trip or something. Yeah.
So she is now 10. She's a baby when we recorded that. So, or when I recorded it. I don't even know how I recorded it. It must have been on, like, my webcam or something.
I think you had one of those little flips.
Oh, yeah. We might have had a flip.
Mm-hmm. They were all the rage for a while.
For, like, a year.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So,
So that means and that was early. That was, like, a teens episode.
Yeah.
So that means we're almost 10. The show is almost 10.
Yep.
We're on our 10th year, but we haven't completed it yet. That'll be April of next year, so.
Craziness.
Assuming we make it that long. What else? I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we will see you guys next week. We'll have lots to talk about with stitches, for sure. And I'll try to grab some. I'm going to see if there's free internet at Stitches. If there's not, I probably won't be able to grab Instagram Lives with people, but if there is, I will try.
Yeah.
But usually those events are all paid for Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And those big convention centers.
Got to make those dollars.
Dollar makes me holla. All right. We will talk to y'all next week. Have a good one.
Right,
bye, y'all.